Patreon family, welcome yet again to another week here at Beetle University. I, of course, am Professor Moptop, and this week we're going to be talking about music from the Hard Day's Night album, not just the film, but as well as the non-film side of the soundtrack. The first song we're going to talk about is And I Love Her, which was a sweet love song from Paul McCartney, who was under a little bit of pressure at the time to write songs for the film and the non-film side of the album. John Lennon wrote more songs, but it seems like Paul had more of the highlights. We'll hear about a couple of those, including And I Love Her, which was only performed live a few times, although it is prominently featured in the film. Now, when Paul wrote the song, he was living with Jane Asher and her family. Jane Asher's brother is Peter Asher of Peter and Gordon, and there was a piano in the house, and Paul would write songs on the piano. This is when he wrote And I Love Her. He specifically did not want to have another song where he repeats the title again and again and again. That's why the phrase And I Love Her is only repeated in the song a small handful of times. At first, in the studio, it was kind of electric. You can hear the alternate version on the first volume of the anthology. Slowly, they stripped it down to what we're more familiar with. They double-tracked the vocals. Ringo added some bongo drums, and he plays the clavs, which are the wooden sticks that you tap together. The next song, which is also in the film, is the very up-tempo Tell Me Why. Now, this was either written in Paris or New York, and John quickly wrote it, thought of it, wrote it, got it done, had it all ready to record super fast. He was inspired by the girl groups. He called it a throwaway. It's very funny to hear what the Beatles consider filler material or throwaway. Most bands would kill for a song of that caliber. It's John on lead with Paul and John singing background. They were just starting to really take advantage of some of the things that multi-tracking could do. This was never performed live, although it is in the Hard Day's Night movie. They're actually playing along with the track of the song. The third song is a big one from the Hard Day's Night film. It is Can't Buy Me Love, and it was written in Paris when the Beatles were on tour. Paul demoed the song. He also demoed a song called One and One is Two, which would ultimately be given away to a band called The Strangers. And when he wrote Can't Buy Me Love in Germany, he wrote it real quickly, and he recorded a little bit of it in Paris. They went to record German versions of I Want to Hold Your Hand and She Loves You. Those are kind of fun to hear, although I don't think a lot of people listen those a whole lot. The early version of Can't Buy Me Love was a little bit different. There was some background vocals that were very unusual. They were dropped ultimately by the time the song was officially finished. They recorded some of it, and then they brought the tapes back to England, where they finished it up. There was a guitar solo that was in the original version that was replaced. This is played by George. If you listen real closely on the official version of A Hard Day's Night, you can hear both versions of the guitar solo, one of them very faintly in there, but it's still there. This was a live standard over the years. They played it a lot. They actually played it just a couple of days after it was officially recorded. The fourth song you're going to get audio for this week is Anytime at All, which is the first track from the second side of the album. The first side was all the songs from the film. The second side was all songs that were not in the film. And side two is a really, really good album. The Hard Day's Night album is the first and only album where Lennon and McCartney wrote all the songs. Before that and after that, there were either songs that were covered, there were Harrison or Starkey songs, but this is the only time that it's all John and Paul. On June 2nd of 1964, they recorded Anytime at All, and there's a piano overdub on it with George Martin, and they were moving so fast at the time, they never performed this one live. They recorded it, they finished it up in the studio, and they never played it live. They just moved past it that quickly. Again, most bands would kill for a song of that caliber. You are going to be getting 4 hunks of audio of these 4 wonderful Beatles songs, and although I can't make you do anything, I think you should probably watch A Hard Day's Night. It always seems to make me smile. Thank you so much. I'm Professor Moptop. I'll talk to you in a week.